What's up guys, I'm back again with a new video, and today we're going to be looking at gesture drawings. During the last month or so, I was doing a 30-day challenge for the gesture drawings, but honestly it took a bit longer since I suddenly got really busy and life got a bit crazy, and some days I would forget to do it, but at least I was able to finish it. And I felt like doing this video since Christopher Oro commented on one of my reels asking how I did my gesture drawing, so that's what I'm going to be showing you today. Before we start, I wanted to show you where I like getting my references. I like using a website called Line of Actions since they have a lot of really good poses and not just figure drawings, but hands and feet, expressions, animals, and other things. So it's got a lot of options in case you like drawing certain subjects or you need help studying something specific. And what I like about this website is that it gives you the option to customize your session, so you can choose if you want nude or covered models, or all options, ages, genders, the orientation of the image, and the time you want each picture to last. So with that in mind, let's get into it. So what I like doing is I start with a piece of paper, sketchbook, or whatever you would like to draw on, and some pens. I like using pens because I don't have to think about what I'm going to be drawing, since the idea is we're going to be drawing fast. We don't want it to be perfect, so if we use a pencil or something we can erase, then it's going to take longer for us to do the drawings because we're going to want to be erasing, and the whole idea is we're not going to be erasing. Also, I like using two colors sometimes. I like using green since it's like a lighter color and the red is darker, so I can emphasize certain lines that I like later on if I do like the sketch. So let's begin with this first pose. So this pose is pretty simple. What I like doing is I start with the torso. And so I like to just keep it pretty simple. The idea is we're going to be doing this fast and just getting in the typical shapes that we see, and we are just saying like what connects, what should be together, and where everything should go. So like you can see, I'm just simplifying everything pretty easily. Using the arms as like literal cylinders, and the feet as like triangles, and the head. I like adding the head last because I have noticed that when I draw and I start with the head first, the pose looks off. It looks stiff, like it doesn't work. So I've noticed that when I draw the head after the body, it makes the body look way better. It doesn't look as stiff since the head gives it a lot of movement. Well, that's at least what I've noticed. And so, yeah, just doing this super fast, like I said, dividing everything and just going fast. The idea is to just warm up your hand, start getting used to the movement so that later on when you do start drawing, you don't feel as stiff. And so in this case, I just like, this is after the timer has ended. I just like adding a little bit more, like I said, like of an emphasis of what was going on. Usually it's when I really like a pose, this is when I like doing it. And also, if you can notice, like the green is usually just blocked out stuff, like squares or triangles, like I said. So with the red, what I like doing is I like now start building the body to what it looks like an actual body. It's not just shapes anymore. There's like a bit more curves with the lines. Just getting an idea of how bodies work, how they connect, how each piece works together to make the movement. maybe just color it in super fast. And like I said, it's just a super quick sketch. It doesn't have to be super detailed. Okay, so that last pose was pretty simple. Just standing and a very simple pose. Now this next one has a bit more of movement. The arms and the legs are more separated. There's more of an inclination to the body. So I usually like these types of poses because it's kind of easier for me to see, like, okay, this part of the torso can go like this, and then the leg can do something like that, and then just going down. Foot, like I said, is a triangle. Doing that. And also, you don't have to be so hard on yourself. If you've never done this before, it's okay if you pass the time limit. The whole idea is that you start getting used to it, start doing a warm-up so that your hand doesn't get tired super fast when you actually start drawing. Oh, look, the hand's gonna overlap. Oh well. And then, like I said, I like doing the face last because that's when I notice that, like, the head here connects to here, and then we go over here and it does that, and then there's that. Because I feel like if I've done the head first, this would look way weirder. I don't know. That's what at least I've noticed when I do stuff. I don't know if anyone else has issues with that, but yeah. So there's the pose. Like I said, I like getting back in with the red pen just to outline certain things that I feel need to be outlined. Like I said, after the timer has gone out, I don't care. Just trying to understand, like, okay, this is where stuff starts to get more round. This is where this starts changing, like that. And just swift strokes. That's also very important. Do just swift. Don't do little, like that. Because I know, as a beginner, I used to do that a lot. And doing swifter swifter lines helps to draw faster and to make it look cleaner. You know, like this line just looks way more clean. And also maybe fixing this arm a bit, seeing that it's supposed to be more like over here. And go. And making sure like the length is right. And just like that, something simple like that. And then this arm, seeing that it starts like this and then it goes like that. Like that. And more like this. Just getting that point across. Maybe adding some hair. I don't know, just a face. Okay. So that's pose 2. Like I said, a bit more dynamic. Stuff is more separated. I feel like these poses are easier for me to do because it's like super easy to understand like where everything is separated, while when poses are more like together like this, the arms or the legs are together, sometimes it's difficult for me to understand what's going on. So I like when poses are super flowy like this. I don't know if you like flowier poses, or you like I don't want to say stiff, but like everything is a bit more together. Let me down in the comments below. And so now we're going with the third pose, and this one is a bit different because now we're getting the back side. And so since I made this guy a bit big, we're gonna have to like squish this guy in. Okay, so like I said, I'm gonna have to do this guy a bit smaller. And also, I don't know if you've noticed, like you can see the bones sticking out, but we're not going to do that because right now that's not important. What's important is literally the gesture. What is the body doing? What's the silhouette doing? So we can get it down pretty fast and seeing where everything connects. Also, make sure that whenever you're doing this to look back and forth at the image, at your reference and at your drawing, because sometimes what we do is we just stay here drawing and then we kind of forget about the reference and then it looks very weird and then we get pissed off because it does not look like the reference. So that is also something else to look for. Make sure that everything makes sense. There we go. Like I said, I like adding the face at the last bit. Yep, just like that. Just being loose with it. And this face is at an angle, so we're gonna make it that way. We're gonna make the hair more up here. And the nose is down. I mean, like I said, I don't really get specific with the face and stuff, but just getting an idea, like, where everything goes. And just putting the fingers, okay. And like I said, getting back with the red pen. Now with the red pen I can like start saying, okay, like this is where I see the bones, the ribs sticking out, and also where the like boxer underwear is tighter. Like I like this when there's like this little bit of like skin that comes around like that. I don't know, it just makes it look more human. And then the legs. What I do need to work on is feet, because feet are very weird. And I sometimes can't get the hang of them. Like in the last drawing I did from my last video, I was having so much trouble with those feet. I was looking for so many references because I just could not get what was going on. Like I always say, get references. Get references. If you don't know what's going on, just get a reference. It's so much faster. It'll save so much more time. Or just look at a tutorial so that you don't go crazy like me. Okay, that is more like this. The ear is more like over here. Hair. The arm stretches out. The arm is long. I'm gonna cut it a bit over here. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be pretty, just getting an idea of how everything's working. What I like about this pose is that you can, even though it might look hard because it's backwards and maybe you're not used to doing that stuff, usually we just draw front views, but it's just pretty easy because you just have to look at the movement of the body. That's what we're trying to get in these gesture drawings, like how the body moves, where everything goes, how everything connects, how everything is proportionate to everything else. And like I said, shapes, torso, quick little sandbag, a little pillow, a little rectangle, the butt, same literally rectangle with two lumps. Also the legs, just rectangles. feet, I like doing a lot of triangles. I mean, that's the easiest way to get them. Arms as well. What I like doing is literally adding like where everything connects. So I don't know, it just makes it feel, I don't know, I like it more that way. And it's just easier for me to understand what it's supposed to look like with the reference, because sometimes the references can get a bit crazy looking and my brain explodes because I don't know what is going on. So it's just so much easier for me to just do this, just instead of directly going with the sketch, I like to just turn everything into shapes and then just connect everything with a pen, or if it's digital, the same thing. I like to just sketch out all these shapes first with a very messy pencil, just a sketchy pencil, and then clean it up a bit more with a cleaner type pencil or a line like type pen so that I can understand what's going on. Well, I hope this little tutorial helped you out, and if you do it, tag me on Instagram. I would love to see how it turned out. Hope you had fun, and comment down below what other things you would like to learn or see. Thanks for watching. Bye!